I thank the petitioner. I now recognize and give the floor to Mr. José Miguel Velasquez Cruz. Sir, you have the floor.
Dear committee board members, on November 25th, 1897, the Autonomous Constitution of Puerto Rico was enacted by a royal decree negotiated by our delegation of representatives in the Spanish Congress in an act of free will and self-determination. On March 27th, 1898, the Autonomous Government Board was elected through free elections where the Autonomous Party won with 80% of the vote. Our delegation of 16 representatives and 2 senators had a voice and the right to vote in the Spanish Congress. The United States invaded our autonomous province on July 25th, 1898, removed our local government disregarding its legitimacy, and established a military government by presidential executive order in a total humiliation for our people, destroying our economy, and creating a persistent humanitarian crisis. Today, Puerto Rico has far less freedom than in 1897. That is why we have so much poverty and corruption on the island. Political parties and politicians exploit the colonial administration for their own benefit. When Queen Maria Cristina refused to surrender Puerto Rico, she offered other means of payment for the expenses of the war, but President McKinley demanded her to sign the only terms offered within 48 hours or a second military operation would start towards the Canary Islands. That fact alone could make the treaty illegal and void, as it was signed under threat of a continuation of military hostilities. Article 9 of the 1898 Treaty of Paris states that, quote, "The civil rights and the political condition of the natives from the territories acquired by this treaty will be determined by Congress," unquote. Language that was taken from an 1857 pro-slavery Supreme Court ruling on the case Dred Scott versus Sanford. We have been in the same condition as Dred Scott for the past 126 years. Regardless of what the treaty says, Puerto Rico is still Spanish national territory, militarily occupied by the United States. The real independence of Puerto Rico lies within the return of the island to Spain, since Puerto Rico accepted the autonomous province status back in 1897. We were not searching for liberation, as Consul Hanna stated on his reports of April 1898. Puerto Rico was a happy, prosperous, and loyal Spanish province. Board members, we demand for you to persuade NATO allies, United States and Spain, along with Puerto Rico, to negotiate the return of the island through a joint United States and Spain-supported referendum. Returning to Spain will solve the identity crisis among Puerto Ricans because Puerto Ricans are Spaniards. This status solution will return the self-esteem stolen by the Foraker Act and the insular cases, restoring economic development without the existing colonial restraints. United Nations Resolutions 1541, Articles 6, 8, and 9 allows for this status solution. We should not be denied the reunification of our nation. It is where we belong. Thank you.
I thank the petitioner.